Today on Sports Showtime, we take a look at the tragic events of yesterday's Boston Marathon.
And we'll also recap baseball's weekend against Arkansas.
It's all this and more coming your way. Sports Showtime starts right now. Welcome back to the Sports Desk, fellow Tigers. I'm Bat Brunner.
And I'm Derek Kopp. I'm filling in for Sydney Armstrong tonight, who is actually in Boston. Luckily, she is safe despite the tragedy at the Boston Marathon yesterday. And you know, Bat, it is honestly great to hear that Sydney and her family are okay.
It is. And fellow viewers, if you haven't taken the opportunity already to call your fellow loved ones in your family, please do so. That being said, the tragedy of yesterday's bombing did impact the sporting world as well. And Sports Showtime director Patrick Clay tells us how cities around the country honored Boston in the wake of the tragedy.
Yesterday's attack on the Boston Marathon felt a trickle effect into the sporting world, however insignificant it may be compared to the devastating loss of life. The NBA's Boston Celtics canceled tonight's regular season finale against the Indiana Pacers, and the NHL's Boston Bruins postponed their Monday contest against the Ottawa Senators. The MLB's Boston Red Sox landed safely in Cleveland to face the Indians for their three-game series, which will still happen as scheduled. Red Sox third baseman Will Middlebrooks tweeted, quote, "I can't wait to put on my jersey today. I get to play for the strongest city out there." Sports Illustrated magazine released their cover for their upcoming issue, displaying how the impact of the attack was felt across the nation, as also evidenced by several moments of silence honored last night.
For those who lost their lives in the explosions earlier today at the Boston Marathon.
In times of tragedy, sporting events can be a chance for distraction and escape, something the city of Boston would likely welcome. Patrick Clay, WLSU Sports.
Wise words from a wise man. Thank you, Pat. We here at LSU Student Media will keep the city of Boston in our thoughts as the situation develops.
And bringing things back to Baton Rouge, LSU's baseball team's 15-game winning streak came to an end against Arkansas this weekend in Game 2. But the Tigers came out on top in Game 3, clinching the series against the Razorbacks. And the series victory puts LSU at an amazing 34-3 overall and 12-2 in conference. And after the Tigers defeated Arkansas 5-3 in extra innings Sunday off of a two-run sac fly by Sean McMillan. Arkansas had tied the series at 1 apiece on Saturday as the Razorbacks roared out to an 8-3 victory. And LSU opened up the series with a 6-2 victory over the Razorbacks Friday night with Aaron Nola on the mound. The Tigers come back to Alex Box this Wednesday night to take on in-state opponent Grambling at 6:30.
The LSU men's tennis team also faced Arkansas this weekend, hosting them at The Dub. Sports Showtime reporter Seth Hewlin serves up more on the Tigers' last regular season's SEC match and what challenges lie ahead.
The LSU men showed out Saturday with a 4-1 victory over Arkansas on Senior Day. LSU jumped out early, taking the doubles point. Roger Anderson and Olivier Borsos secured an 8-3 win on Court 2, and minutes later, 52nd ranked duo Chris Simpson and Stefan Shasinski dealt the final blow in an 8-5 win on Court 1. After doubles play concluded, a ceremony was held honoring the 4 seniors on the squad. Coach Jeff Brown presented each senior, and those whose parents attended, with a photograph in memory of their time at LSU. The Tigers came right back out swinging with a 6-3, 6-1 victory by senior Borsos on Court 3. And that wasn't it. None of the Tiger seniors dropped a match against Arkansas. The entire team seemed to be locked in on a common goal, entering the SEC tournament strong. The Tigers earned a 12 seed and opened tournament play against South Carolina in Oxford on Thursday. The opening round should prove to be a real test for both squads, with 2 teams in the top 25 and ranked players on both sides. For Tiger TV, this is Seth Hewlin.
Thank you, Seth. Our Tigers are currently ranked 20th in the nation. Next up, our own Derek will bring us some of the latest news on Major League Baseball. Ain't that right, Derek?
Yes, sir, and I'm also excited to take a look at my hometown basketball team as they enter the playoffs, the Nuggets. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Sports Showtime. In this week's edition of Around the Nation, I'm Derek Kopp. And this week, I'm going to have some assistance from my main man, Bat Runner.
Let's do this.
Let's get right to it. Major League Baseball is back, and teams are beginning to tone themselves for the long stretch between now and the halfway point during All-Star Weekend in New York. Through this point in the season, it is still difficult to see which teams will be on top of their divisions. But on the other side of the spectrum, there are plenty of teams at this point that have multiple reasons to worry. The first team that has to be worried early on in the season has to be my fellow Sports Showtime anchor, Alex Shaney's favorite team, the LA Angels of Anaheim. Now, the Angels notoriously spent the big bucks last offseason to bring in slugger Albert Pujols to help add the needed power they thought would help push their lineup into October. Well, that plan was slightly tainted when they missed October. So this past offseason, they went out and they used the throw money at something and maybe to work approach again and got slugger Josh Hamilton. And so far, he's in a major slump with his new team. And even with stud Mike Trout, pitcher Jared Weaver, and the supporting cast, the Angels are still way under 500 at this point and need to get going. Otherwise, they will be left behind. And the other team that has to have its fan bases worried has to be the only team from the Great White North represented in the MLB, and that's the Toronto Blue Jays. The Jays completely revamped their roster and hit the Let's Win Now button and traded away all major prospects in their farm system for C.Y. Young Award winner R.A. Dickey and former league batting champion Jose Reyes. Along with those moves, they added many other new pitchers and fielders to try and capture the always competitive AL East. The issue with this is, as you can see, Jose Reyes re-injured his ankle and is out for many months, and the starting rotation that was supposed to carry the team into October for the first time since the team won back-to-back World Series in '92 and '93 is not living up to any of the hype thus far this season. And with the season just beginning to get going, I will have another update on which team stocks are rising or dropping next week.
Now that the NBA regular season is set to close out this week, what better time than now to start talking about the NBA draft and which players have the most talk around them at this point. The players with the most hype surrounding him at this point, in my mind, is Kentucky big man Nerlens Noel, who looks to play a similar role to that of Anthony Davis and is expected to be the first taken off the board due to his ability to block shots and play well in the low post. The next player to look at is former #1 overall recruit representing UCLA, Shabazz Muhammad. Shabazz has all the tools and explosiveness to become a star at the next level. It's all about whether or not he can control that ego of his, because when he is on, it's hard for him to miss. And to the next guy to consider is Michigan guard and Naismith Award winner Trey Burke. Some don't see the young guard's game transferring very well into the NBA, and although, yes, I believe his Big Ten rival guard Victor Oladipo will be a better pro, you can't deny Burke is a great player and he has the hardware to prove it. And the final player to consider is the only other guy's name challenging Noel for #1, and that is Kansas guard Ben McLemore. McLemore has great vision on the court and has great speed and even better decision-making skills to go along with all that, so he figures to be a great player at the next level. He's also a great dancer. But with the NBA season coming to a close this week, you can check out Josh Knicks's with his Knicks' picks and other playoff predictions later in the week.
And now I have been waiting for this moment for a while. With the Hornets season coming to an end and no super exciting Hornets play-by-play highlights to show you, I now get to show off my hometown Nuggets as they make their journey into the playoffs. Take that, Patrick. Final seconds of the first half. Bucks down 6, sorry. Monte Ellis running in from the three-point line. Banker at the buzzer, three-pointer. They would go into the half trailing by 3. Now the fourth quarter. Nuggets down 1, and this is the nice drive and dish by the Frenchman Fournier, and he hits Wilson Chandler on the wing for the 3. Losing Gallinari doesn't even hurt us. Moments later, Bucks down 1. Ellis with the "if you don't cover me, that's your fault" mentality, and rises and knocks down the go-ahead 3. And late fourth quarter, Bucks are now down 3. Ellis gets the ball on the wing, and he buries the 3. And can you believe it? They called that a foul. He converted, though. That was the 4-point play to give the Bucks a lead. But in the final seconds, who do the Nuggets go to? We've gone to it multiple times this year. That's right, Ty Lawson, with ice in his veins, makes the fadeaway J. And J.J. Redick on the other side with the 3. Can they make it? Oh, no, not today. And that is the Nuggets winning as they take the win streak into the playoffs. They have one more game, but Ty Lawson finished with 26. And with the playoffs for the NBA quickly approaching, we will keep you updated on our projections and any other news that comes up through the week.
How do you talk that long?
You know, it's an acquired skill. It takes time.
Coming up after the break, we have quite possibly the worst penalty kick in all of time.
I can't get over it. We have it for you, and it's right after this.
Welcome back to the show. Today we take you all the way to Brazil, deep in the heart of soccer, or should I say football. Now around the world, isn't Brazil known to be one of the top soccer powerhouses? Not America SP's midfielder Pilo.
And you know, Bat, this has to be the worst penalty kick I think I've ever seen. Like, you are first of all, you get that, you pick up the penalty box, you get to step in to take the kick, and horizontal. I mean, come on, you're a professional soccer player. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm sorry, I have a loss of words right now. I just don't know what just
I
happened.
can do that better.
That was my first time seeing that. All right, well, guys, that's it for today on Sports Showtime, the Sports Desk. You can watch full episodes online at tigertv.tv.
And also, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for the latest news at ttv_sports.
We'll see you same time, same place next week. I'm Bat Broner.
And I'm Derek Kopp. Have a good night, Tigers.